On July 3rd, 2021, there was a standoff between state police in Massachusetts and a group called the Rise of the Moors on I-95 at mile marker 57.4.
We've been out here since about 2 a.m. It's about 4 a.m. It's so we've been out here since 1:53 a.m. It is July 3rd, 2021. We are in North America, Morocco. We are on the Interstate 95 near exit 57.4. The mile marker is right near this police vehicle. We already assured them that we're going to be peaceful, so they have nothing to worry about. But the mile marker was right here. So that's where we are.
Now, if you're just joining us, this started about 1:30 in the morning, the side of 95 in Wakefield, just south of North Avenue. Two cars pulled over, a trooper pulled over, and it looked like these men were there. Then when he took a closer look, they were in what they described as combat gear, fatigues, had long guns. At some point, they were on the highway and they were holding a flag. We actually saw some of their video. This group, they call themselves Moorish American Arms, saying they are not anti-government, but at the same time, as State Police Colonel was just saying a little while ago, a lot of times their actions may speak differently than that. And right now, police are not taking any chances. We, by the way, do have some video, and I don't know if we can show it now, of an arrest that was made just before 7 o'clock this morning. Two of these members were walking along North Avenue toward a staging area where police were. And while they were walking there, they were both taken into custody. Colonel Mason saying one of them was armed, the other one was not.
Before we go any further, I need you all to understand something very basic about magic spells and incantations. The definition of spell is to form a word or words with letters. A spell is also a series of words that have magical powers. Spells combine symbolism, special materials, verbal incantations, the positioning of heavenly bodies, concentration, and faith into rituals to turn the practitioner's will into reality. You may remember a long time ago, I showed you an interview with Will Smith talking about magic.
I want to be an idea. You know, I want to represent an idea. I want to represent possibilities. I want to represent magic, right? That you're in a universe and 2 + 2 = 4. 2 + 2 only equals 4 if you accept that 2 + 2 = 4. 2 + 2 is going to be what I want it to be. You know, and there's a redemptive power that making a choice has, you know, rather than feeling like you're at effect to all the things that are happening. Make a choice, right? You just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. Just decide. And then from that point, the universe is going to get out your way. It's like, it's water. It wants to move and go around stuff, you know. So for me, I want to represent possibilities. I want to represent the idea that you really can make what you want. One of my favorite books is The Alchemist, Paulo Coelho, and I just believe that. I believe that I can create whatever I want to create if I can put my head on it right, study it, learn the patterns, and you know, it's hard to put into words some real metaphysical, esoteric nonsense.
His name actually means to shape, form, and create through the power of one's will, desire, and intentions. It should be noted that the basic beliefs of this group, the Rise of the Moors, are derived from Moorish science. Science and magic are closely connected. We are told this much by the character Thor, the god of thunder and lightning.
Your ancestors called it magic, and you call it science. Well, I come from a place where they're one and the same thing.
We are also shown this same theme in the movie Doctor Strange, who is a scientist that becomes a practicing magician.
And he is a scientist and he's very smart, but he has to let go, forget everything he thinks he knows, as Mordo tells him in the film. And so much of that is in the DNA of science and of the scientific method, pushing boundaries past what you may or may not know and accepting that you don't know everything.
That being said, let's talk about the name of the rise of the Moors and why it is so important to understand the true meaning of why this particular group was chosen for this orchestrated ritual event. Ephesians 6:12 tells us, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." John 12:31 declares, "Now is the judgment of this world. Now shall the prince of this world be cast out." The origin of the English term Moor is the Greek word marvel, which literally means black, blackened, or charred, meaning something that has been burned or blackened by fire. This word has long been used to describe black or very dark things. The name of this organization, the Rise of the Moors, then, is actually a reference to the rise of the Prince of Darkness. According to state police, the standoff began at about 1:30 a.m. on Saturday when a state trooper stopped to check on two vehicles that had pulled over in the emergency breakdown lane of Interstate 95 in Wakefield, about 15 miles north of Boston.
Now, if you're just joining us, this started about 1:30 in the morning, the side of 95 in Wakefield, just south of North Avenue. Two cars pulled over, a trooper pulled over, and it looked like these men were there. Then when he took a closer look, they were in what they described as combat gear, fatigues, had long guns. At some point, they were on the highway and they were holding a flag. We actually saw some of their video. This group...
The time, 1:30, gives us the number 13, the number of rebellion. The name Wakefield means a watch, as in a night watch or awake, and is a reference to a person who keeps watch during the night or the graveyard shift.
We've been out here since about 2 a.m. It's about 4 a.m. It's so we've been out here since 1:53 a.m. It is July 3rd, 2021.
Awake is also a social gathering associated with death, usually held before a funeral. The number 15 represents the devil as proven by the 15th trump tarot card, which is the devil. The name Boston comes from Baltolf stone, which is named after Botwolf of Thorney. He is regarded as the patron saint of boundaries and, by extension, of trade and travel, which connects him to Mercury, the god of commerce, magic or divination, travelers, boundaries, luck, trickery, and thieves, and who also serves as the guide of souls to the underworld. The men from the Rise of the Moors were traveling on I-95, which is an interstate highway that is used for both regular travel and interstate commerce, again connecting to Mercury, the god of commerce and travel.
It is July 3rd, 2021. We are in North America, Morocco. We are on the Interstate 95 near exit 57.4. The mile marker is right near this police vehicle. We have the right to peaceful journey. So, with that being said, we should not have been detained here.
It is important to note that Mercury is the same as the one-eyed Norse god Odin, and both hold sway over the dead, which is the reason this occurred during the night watch or graveyard shift. Isaiah 42:6-7 speaks about how the true Messiah is the light of the world and delivers out of the prison of darkness when it declares, I, the Lord, have called thee in righteousness, and will hold thy hand, and will keep thee, and give thee for a covenant of the people, for a light of the Gentiles, to open the blind eyes, to bring out the prisoners from the prison, and them that sit in darkness out of the prison house. Darkness represents ignorance, evil, and wickedness, as well as death. The prisoners are those who are bound to sin and death, and the prison represents hell. Notice the flag that the men who are part of the rise of the Moors are holding up is the Star of Baphomet with a red background representing the fires of hell and Satan himself. Therefore, we can be sure that the name The Rise of the Moors is a magic spell or incantation that means the rise of the Prince of Darkness, the devil, from the bottomless pit.